Hi, folks. How y'all doing? Back again. Uh, I wanted to talk about self-creation. Actually, it's a recreation. Because, you know, we were created by our parents, right? Yeah. But now we're talking about self-creation as recreation or self-creation. We are doing it, you see. Uh, So the impediments, that which hold us back from self-creation, happens to be our value system. And it is composed of forms, okay, that have been created by us, each individual, over time. These forms become the personality, hence the value system. The system of forms that people live by. A system of forms that people believe constitutes their true being. But when it comes then to self-creation, we create more forms, other forms, you see. We say that the old forms that we developed through life consist of many things, such as our biases, our morality, okay? And it so happens that these two, not only these two, but these two are great impediments to people understanding their religious scriptures, whatever the book may be. For example, we see that in the Judeo-Christian tradition, where we have Moses and Joshua, right? And Joshua has been told to go over to the promised land and kill the men, women, and children, even the babies. Whoa, that sounds gross, right? Oh, wow, So it's difficult for many of us to believe that such a thing happened. So people stop it right there. Say, oh, no, that's gross. I can't accept that, and so forth and so on. But they seem like they don't dig deeper into what is actually being said. Okay? So their biases, their morality stops them from doing this. You see? That's just one example. And there are many more. Okay? Many things happened in these ancient scriptures. The ancient scriptures are mythological. The characters are mythological. In other words, Moses and Joshua and those folks on the other side and over there occupying the so-called promised land were not human beings. The characters in the mythology are not human. So those who wrote the mythology could take it upon themselves to say things that are rather gross. Now, the ancient folks knew that the characters were not human. It is we, the later generation, the present generation, who seems to not been taught that these characters were not human. In fact, the present generation, we are taught that, or at least it's implied to us, that the characters are indeed human. People preach today that Moses was a man who walked the earth. Moses did not walk the earth. Moses and Joshua and the rest of them were mythological characters. But this disinformation or misinformation or both that we have received stop us from understanding the scriptures the way they were meant to be understood. Okay. Back to self-creation. Okay. So, in the when it comes to self-creation, our personality is composed of forms, many of which are misleading to us. You see, like when they tell us that Moses and Joshua was human. They're not human. We've been misled to believe that they were actually human. This stops us from understanding what's being said to us. We don't get the full import of it. Okay. So, what has to be done in self-creation? The person must construct new forms. He's recreating himself. He needs the new forms. Okay? And as the person develops these new forms, the old forms lose hold. He knows better now that he's developing these new forms. He knows better than to hold on to the old forms, the old biases and the moralities and all that stuff. So what happens is that the passion and the power that upheld and reinforced the old forms are brought over to support the new forms, the new self, the newly created self. Now, there are multiple forms, you see. And a form, for example, results in another form. Like the forms give birth to other forms. A person has an idea, which is a form, and from that idea comes another idea and another idea. They branch out into multiple forms. We're building another personality. You know, a personality presumably in line with or aligned with a true self. That's why we call it self-creation. You see. So now we have these multiple forms. Now, we come across the same thing in the Bible, okay, where God told one of the patriarchs that your seed will multiply like tremendously upon the face of the earth. You will have millions of seed, meaning descendants. But these descendants are forms. The Bible, a book of mythology, okay, put it, these forms, okay, in the form of living people, human descendants, you know, but they're simply mental forms, forming a personality. So forms result in multiple forms. A form gives rise to another form. An idea gives rise to another idea. It's the same thing. And they become the new personality. And this new personality should be aligned with the true self. So we call it self-creation. We're recreating ourselves in alignment with the true self that is within us. Hence, we are developing our soul when we do this. So the old forms would, we would consider them as opposition forces, because it's not hard dumping the old personality traits. You love them. It's not easy to dump them. So they oppose the new. So what the person has to do, who's developing in new forms, who's recreating himself, is to reconcile these opposing forces. Reconciling these opposing forces releases a lot of energy, because the person establishes balance within himself. You see? And so this new energy goes to support, the developing personality. Okay. Thank you, and subscribe, and I'll be getting back with you soon. Lots of things to talk about, and I'm sure that you'll be interested in what I have to say. Thank you for watching.